Namaste and welcome. Let's begin with an Om. So just take a moment to center here with your hands at your heart space and gently closing down your eyes. A few breaths in and a few breaths out just to recognize how you've arrived today for your second week of our program where we are maintaining the momentum. And then let's prepare for an Om by inhaling through the nose. Om. And just with that sensation and the vibration pulsating around and through you, just take a moment to recognize the strength you cultivated from within through your first week. And now allowing that strength to help motivate, to help encourage, to maintain the momentum. A Sanskrit term and a yoga philosophical term here would be abhyasa, the steady effort in the direction we want to go. If your eyes are closed, let's keep them closed and we'll just rub the palms together to warm up the hands and do whatever movements through the hands feel good there. And then we'll just cup the hands over the eyes with the warmth we've created at the palms and taking a moment to gaze inwards at your internal universe. Thank yourself for showing up today as you start to peel the hands away, blinking open the eyes. And then as you sweep the hands down beside you, start to flick the hands out wide and up and overhead just to send any little latent energy, stickiness, gripping or tension out through the arms and flick it away. And then extend the arms forward, interlace the fingers and lengthen through the arms and maybe even press the heart and lungs back. Behind you, you draw your chin towards your chest. And then up and overhead, lift up, little side bends side to side. And then as you slowly lower the left hand down, bring it onto the knee or Gyan Mudra, index finger and thumb. Nadi Shodhana now, so peace fingers of the right hand will be placed on your third eye. Clearing your nostrils with a nice big breath in and a big breath out. The thumb closes the right nostril, inhale left. Close the left with the ring finger, exhale right forcefully with a snap of the belly button. Close the right, re-inhale left. Reclose the left and exhale right. Okay, do about 10 to 15 of those and then switch it up on your own. Last few. Big breath in through both nostrils, big breath out just to center yourself and now switch it up. So block the left, inhale right. Block the right, exhale left. Off you go. Last few. And then bring your hands down onto your knees and just take a moment there to find your breath and center yourself. Before we continue to journey through the balancing of our hemispheres, balancing of our channels with Ida and Pingala, relatively easy breath kriya. So bring your hands behind your head, elbows are wide. You're nice and elevated through the torso and wide through the elbows and collarbones. As you inhale to the right, through the nose, you exhale with an O shape through the mouth to the left. Last few. Pause to your left with that exhale. Now inhale at the left and exhale with that O shape to the right. Last few. Coming back to your center. Extend your arms out so you cactus the arms now. Prana Shakti 2. So close the hands into a fist. And as you inhale, you slightly retract the shoulder blades, look up, open the throat and the arms wide, but keep them in the cactus shape. And then with the exhale, it's like you're bashing your hands against a brick wall. So really nice just to cleanse the auric field around you. So it's inhale and then it's a mood energizer, and it's also a shifter of stagnant energy and stagnant thoughts as you sort of knock away all of those limiting beliefs. So continue going. About 10 more. Good work. Take the arms up long, fingers spread wide. Prana Shakti 3 now. 3-part inhales to gather the elbows in towards you as you close your hands into a fist. And then with the exhale, it's a 3-part to press negativity away with the hands in a stop sign. We then lift up and continue the 3-part. And I like to start that inhale there. So it'll be lift up. Keep going. Think of positivity in, negativity out, and really press away with forcefulness as the hands come into those stop signs, releasing that stickiness and the gooiness of the limiting beliefs and the negative thoughts that we can hold on to. Last 5. Take the arms up and hold there. Fingers wide, lifted through the crown of the head, belly button in. Take a moment, take a breath, and just tune into the cleansing nature of that kriya. Lots of energy flowing through the body, and I always feel this heat through my legs as I find that energy starting to build. Bring the fingers in and the thumbs in, elbows down towards the sides of the waist. Remember, we're activating our side waists here and the lymphs that flow underneath the armpits, and it's a cleansing and activating kriya. So that's what its name is. So as you inhale, you take the right arm out, and then you draw it back with a little bit of forcefulness and a bit of a slap against the side body, but that's the same breath. The inhale stays where it is, and then the exhale is the left arm shooting out. And then it draws it back in. So takes a little bit of coordination at first, and just tuning into the right arm's the inhale, left arm's the exhale. And you allow the arms to compress and slap the body as much forcefulness as works for you. Remembering this is cleansing and activating. So it's going to remove some of those blockages. See if you can find your drishti focus off on the horizon, or perhaps even see if you can roll the eyes back a little and look up to the third eye. Oh, nice work. Extend the arms up, reach up, find the open eyes now. Hug your thumbs in and wrap the fingers around it. We have 90 seconds of Ego Conqueror. Ego Conqueror is about dissolving and allowing yourself to recognize those moments when yoga shows up. Yoga shows up in the moments of difficulty where you want to get out. You suddenly say to yourself, nope, I've had enough. But you haven't, because you're strong. You've built the strength from within. And now maintaining that momentum is just about tapping into that strength. Just a little like Hanuman, the monkey god that goes to rescue Sita from the island of Lanka, arriving on the shores of the southern tip of India, looking over and thinking in insurmountable odds, I cannot make it, I cannot do this, I don't know how. He didn't know how because of forgetfulness. It was a curse made to him because of his incredible internal power, and he was kept small by this curse. But he was the monkey god, and his ability to fly through the sky and leap in incredible journeys and distances came to him as he took a moment and allowed himself to self-inquire. So I want you to self-inquire with me here for a few more moments. I have no idea. It might have even been longer than 90 seconds because I like to waffle away when I get into a philosophical rant, but I do enjoy how that can contribute to our experience in our class. Last few moments. Well done. Good work. Hands forward, shift onto your knees, and let's take ourselves through to tabletop position now. Placing your props off and away in front of you because we'll use them in a moment. In our tabletop position, we'll take a few breaths here through our cow and cat, which you can navigate and maneuver on your own. And perhaps even just closing down your eyes and allowing yourself this chance just to tune into that internal dimension and how you feel. What's going on in the body? Where is the areas of stickiness and resistance? Where are the areas that feel really free to flow and move and breathe and coordinate with the body and the breath. And encourage those areas to harmonize and allow for balance in the body. So we'll take a moment now just to warm up the fingers and the wrists. As we blink open the eyes, we look down at our fingertips and we lift the thumbs first and we lift the hands second. So the palms come up and the fingers stay on the mat. And you hinged at your first row of knuckles and you lift and lower, lift and lower. And it's a lovely stretch for your wrists, your forearms, and work some of the stickiness that can occur around the palms and the fingers. So last 3, 2, and 1. Palms down. Let's move into our spinal balance series now with number 2. So you sit back on your heels, arms are forward, and it's a little bit like bird dog, coordinated movements. So we shift up to tabletop, allow the inhale to extend the right arm and the left leg out, and then the exhale as you fist the hand, you elbow and knee tap under body, and then return hand and knee to the mat, and you sit back, and there's still no breath there yet. So the inhale shifts you forward, right leg back, left arm forward, and then the elbow and knee tap under the body, and we sit back on our heels. So we just keep switching it. Right arm, left leg, exhale, tap, return, sit back. Inhale, lift, exhale, tap, and return. Off you go. Do one more on each side, ending on your left hand forward. Sitting back on your heels in a moment in a type of child's pose, giving yourself a couple of breaths. Shifting up to tabletop, placing your hands another handprint further down the mat away from you. Tucking your toes, lifting the hips and sending the chest back towards the thighs. Downward facing dog now. Pedal the feet, windscreen wiper the heels, bend the knees, nod the head. Neutral in the wrists. Warmth and energy in the arms and the muscles around the shoulder joint. Length along the side waist, belly button tucked in and up. Big bend in the knees and high heels, especially if this is early in the morning like it is for me. So nice and relaxed through the backs of the legs as we will come in and out of down dog over the course of the sequence. So we'll just let this one feel supernatural. Lots of integrity in the shoulders though. Lots of integrity in that row of knuckles that ground down into the mat. Maybe there's a little more heaviness in the heels. And a little bit more of an awareness through the Achilles, the calves, and the backs of the knees. As you start to walk forward, take your time, no need to rush. Feet 1 foot at a time, coming forward. Upon arrival, find a halfway lift so you can have your hands on your shins or hands on your blocks, allowing that breath in to guide your heart forward, crown of head forward. And then we'll find a fold, a long fold here. So we've got a lot of breaths to take as you hold your elbows. You nod, you bounce, you sway, you move a little. Feel some freedom in your body, allowing yourself the space for change. And to cultivating that sense of strength from within. And tapping into that strength to help build the momentum. Now, if the blocks were underneath you for that halfway lift, we'll use them again. We'll just encourage another halfway lift to allow the breath to feel the buoyancy of the body and lengthen the spine. And then one more fold. Now, that fold can just be luxurious. It can be super sweet, or you could take a little bit more activity. Maybe take your hands behind your back, interlacing the fingers and squeezing the shoulder blades together. So lengthening the arms and creating a lot of energy through the shoulders. And then everybody will start to dangle the hands towards the earth, transferring the energy from the ground through the soles of the feet, from Mother Earth. Yeah, as we're rolling up, you're starting to feel it through the backs of the legs, the backs of the knees, the hamstrings, and then you're starting to roll up almost like a lotus flower emerging from the base of the pond. Upon arrival, I just have to fix up all the cords and everything around my torso, extending the arms beside the body. So work from the ground up in this pose, our mountain pose. We want to be firm on the earth, grounded, active in the legs, neutral in the pelvis, expanded through the chest and the heart space, lengthened through the arms, tone of the abdominals, lift of the crown of the head, and a tiny tuck in of the chin towards the chest. And then stare off on the horizon. The ancient yogis looked north, and from their position they saw the Himalayas, these giant mountains, and they stood with wisdom, with strength and stability, which is where I cultivate the name for my practice, Kriya Yoga. It's steadfast, it's stable, it's able to allow you that ability to stand proud. So do that for a moment now before we find our way into our hands at heart. So big toes come to touch. We will take Kamala Mudra or hands at heart, yogi's choice. Once again, let's take a moment to recognize our little sankalpa, our intention. That sapling is growing into a small tree now. It's a reminder that it's planted in the earth. It's watered by our intention and our flow. The sun, the warmth we cultivate from our Kundalini practices help to allow it to grow. The air around it feeds it with nutrient, carbon dioxide, oxygen, transfer, and then space. So the space to grow and to shift and change. Let's continue to maintain our momentum up to the sky with the inhale breath. And then return to the earth with the exhale. Nice work. Halfway lift. Your blocks are there if you need it. Big breath in and step back to our high plank. Exhale. Hold the plank now. Nice and long and strong. It's the same alignment as our Tadasana, but now we need to use some effort to press away from the earth. Leg muscles are engaged, belly button's engaged, and then slowly lower the knees down. Cross the ankles behind you and draw the heels towards your butt. Let's warm up with a few tricep push-ups here. So slowly lower halfway down as you bend your elbows and exhale. Hug them into the rib cage. Inhale presses you back up. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, press up. Got 3 more. Exhale and an inhale. Exhale and an inhale. Exhale and an inhale. Wait here. Uncross the legs. Lower the tops of the feet down. Maybe shift the hips back a little. Tuck the tailbone up to the sky. Bend the elbows and slowly lower down, chest and chin, tummy on the mat, into our cobra pose. Hands underneath our shoulders, elbows point back. Spinal balance 3 now. So looking over our shoulder to the left and lift the left leg. Come back through center. Inhale, peek over right shoulder, lift right leg. Exhale through center. Inhale, lift and twist head to the left. And repeat to the right. So let's do 5 on each side. I just had an overwhelming sense of wanting to give up. Film it another day, Travis. The microphone keeps getting caught around my torso and it's difficult to move my head, but you know what? I'm going to stay. Yoga shows up when you want to get out. And last couple here. It's technology, right? Shifting back to tabletop, hold there. Placing your hands, another handprint further down the mat. We'll take a few salutes to the sun now by tucking our toes, and lifting the hips to the sky, pressing your chest back. So here we are in our familiar old friend, down dog. So take a moment just to settle in and connect with the breath. Slowly walking forward with the exhale breath. So let that breath exhale all the way. Upon arrival, feet are hip width. Hands on shins, halfway lift, inhale. And then fold again, exhale. There's lots of room once we exhale, right? And then fan the hands up to the sky and be the change we want to see in the world as the hands come overhead And then we'll slowly lower down through the heart space, bending the knees and folding to the earth. Exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, crown the head forward, plant the hands and step back to high plank. Hold the plank there. Very slowly we lower the knees, bending the elbows, tucking the tailbone up to the sky, chest and chin slither forward to our cobra. There could be a little bit more room now as the spine's warmed up, hands higher lift. Back through tabletop, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, hips to sky, chest to thighs. Walk forward with the opposite foot starting the journey as we tiptoe forward now. Exhale, breath the whole way. Hands on shins, halfway lift, inhale. Big breath in and a fold, exhale. Root to rise, gather the breath to the sky. Inhale all the way up, palms touch, and then exhale, we fold ourselves forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Plant the hands, step back to high plank. Hold the plank nice and strong and long. Once again, it'll be knees, chest, chin. Just to develop that warmth in the back body. Let's take striking cobra now. So hands go out wide onto your flooring, elbows point to the sky, press the tops of the feet down. And there should be a little bit more space to lift a little higher with the support wider out through the hands. Lowering back down onto the chest, hands under shoulders, elbows point back, shift to tabletop. Tuck the toes, hips to sky, downward facing dog. Let's take bigger steps now, a little faster on the exhale as we come forward. Big breath in, halfway lift, inhale, and then fold, exhale. Root to rise up to sky. Inhale, breath. And then exhale, maybe reverse swan dive this time. So hands go out wide, all the way down to the earth. Hands on shins, halfway lift. Now, which foot steps back every single time the same? Let's do the opposite foot for me. It's left foot back first, right foot back second. Now, your choice here is to take your high plank to low plank, up dog, down dog, or knees, chest, chin, cobra to down dog. So if you're ready for high plank to low plank, bend the elbows, skim them towards the ribcage, shift onto the tops of the feet, thighs lifted off the mat, pressing away from the earth, belly button in, up dog, and roll over toes, downward facing dog. Now, you've done that a couple of times. Why don't you just explore this on your own now for one cycle? And if you can't remember, you're not sure, guess what? Make it up. It's okay. You could add anything you like in here. We'll be meeting in down dog in a few moments. Remember to step back with the opposite foot if possible, just to balance and shift the patterns of doing the same thing. Nice work from downward facing dog. Just take a moment there, settle in, see if there's a little bit more space for the heels to lower to the earth, more of a lift of the hips, more of the chest to the thighs, but remaining with the integrity of the knuckles pressing down on the mat. Shifting to a plank, coming forward. From your high plank position, pause there, press away from the earth, and then slowly lower to knees and shins, untuck the toes, and sit back on your heels. Hands on your thighs, palms facing the ceiling, focus off on the horizon, just taking a moment, recognizing that momentum, the energy, and recognize the direction you want to go, abhyasa. Sweep the hands up and overhead as you interlace the fingers, point the index finger to the ceiling and cross the thumbs. I call this the Kali love gun, pointing up to the ceiling. Now the bija mantra for the sun is Hat, Hat, and it's the explosive snap in of the belly button here that allows for that to feel really warmth, so allowing that radiation from the sun to expand out through the body. So breath in, and then Hat, 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 halfway, Hat, 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 Hat. Sweep the hands back behind you, interlace the fingers, extend the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, widen the collarbones and look up, and then bend the elbows and bring your clasped hands onto your left hip. Squeeze the elbows, proud the chest, look forward, shift to your knees and shins, and then step the right foot forward carefully and slowly. Lunge position, elbows wide, collarbones wide, elbows drawn in, collarbones wide. Look up. Then re-extend the arms behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades, lengthen. Release the hands, take your right hand onto your left hip behind you so that the back body and the forearm press into one another, and sweep the left arm up and overhead. Look up, hold here. And then a slight bend to the right. So you're getting all this length along the left side body as you bend to the right overhead. Both arms go up, interlace the fingers. Kali Love Gun again, look up, reach up. And then as we find our hands sweeping down, find our blocks and let's place them underneath us as we lunge forward here. So the blocks bring the earth to us. With this elevation through the chest, back toenails press down, front heel presses down. Nice work. Walk the right foot, front foot to the right, and you might be able to look back and reach back with the right hand as you twist to the right. That could be enough for some of you, or others know they can look back and reach back with the foot behind them. If you were able to catch the foot, release it. If you were reaching back, let's all come forward. Now, our half splits, our half Hanuman. Using the blocks about where your knee is, you want to start to shift the back knee down the mat and take the front foot forward, curling the toes towards the face. Blocks are supporting you. You're lifted. The curl of the toes towards the face is going to texturize the muscles that we're targeting at the back of the right leg, around the base of the buttocks and the thigh that run all the way down to the backs of the knees. So holding here for 3. For 2. This is a little maneuver here to come onto our buttocks. So bring the blocks back towards you, really proud in the chest, tone of the abdominals. Shift the left knee forward so that you can start to sit down, and you just avoid sitting on that heel so your buttocks are on the mat. Now, if that's not possible, you could use a blanket underneath you. If your blocks are out in front of you, option 1 would be to fold forward here, just tuning into these sensations. Now, option 2 could be to take a block behind you. It's going to depend on your body where that block arrives, and you'll be lowering back down onto that block, perhaps even letting the head hang off the edge of the block if it works for you. Wherever you're at, you've got about 5 breaths. Last 2. And then if you're like me and you're on your back, just start to draw your chin towards your chest, lifting yourself up. If my friends that had their hands out in front of them, let's all take a moment. Now there's a few lefts and rights here. We're going to be twisting to the right as we start to come onto the right shin and create a deer shape with our legs. So it's simply allowing that left knee to create a 90-degree angle and the right knee creates a right angle. And you start to rotate your torso around to the right. Let's stay on the hands here as an active variation to allow us to press down through the knees and the ankles of both legs, creating a little bit more activity and a little bit more sensation. Elevated through the chest. Last 3. And last 2. As I said, there's a few lefts and rights, so I'll go slowly. We're going to rotate back to the front of our mat, and our left hand will catch our right ankle, drawing the heel in towards the buttock. Both hands reach over for the knee of the left leg, and it steps the foot to the outer right thigh. So we're in the Lord of the Fish position. So see if you can just take that right heel out from underneath the left buttocks. Right arm reaches forward, and we twist around to the left this time, and that hand wraps around the bent knee in front of our chest, and the head rotates to the left, which I can't do today because I am so tangled up. I don't know why. I am actually a little sweaty. It's Sunday morning of the first week, so I'm filming this a week in advance. It's quite muggy and humid here in New South Wales. As we come back to center, option 1 for shoelace is to half it. So just to sweep the right leg out straight away from underneath you and just draw the left ankle further over towards the right hip, allowing you to fold there. If you want to go a little deeper into the hips, you would place a block behind you, shift and sit on the block. It would work for half shoelace as well to sit on a block if it's too much. If not, to find the full variation, I like to take my hands out in front of me, draw my belly button in, and start to round the spine and draw the chin towards the chest. We'll hold this for 5 breaths. And last 2. And last one. We're heading to yogi squat. So if you've got a block underneath you, let's get it out from underneath us. Lean back a little, step the feet wide, shift forward onto our soles of feet, and have the hands on the mat in front of us. We'll take our standing Hatha Kriya here. So with the hands on the mat, find the expression of Ha as you look up and open the throat, and use the hands to help shift the chest forward. And then Ta is this expression of folding forward. So we start to extend the legs and press the chest towards the thighs. So it's Ha, Ta, Ha, Ta, Ha. Look up, Ta, tuck in, Ha, Ta, Ha, Ta, Ha, Ta, Ha, Ta, Ha, Ta. Last 2. Ha, Ta, and Ha, Ta. And then come back to your yogi squat. That one is super tight through the hips, so I bet you felt that as well. Hands at heart, just absorb. And then we'll take that same kind of movement to the Ta position, so we'll find ourselves in our forward bend. Shuffle the left foot to center a little more and step the right foot all the way back, and start to take yourself all the way back into that right leg as we find our way into a Skandasana position. So bending into right knee, lengthening through the left leg. Let's pop up to Warrior 2 with the hands on the hips. So front knee tracks towards the pinky toe, front foot anchors down and points forward. Back foot runs parallel with short edge of mat. With those hands on the hips, think of the Apana Vayu, the downward energy grounding you from hips down, and then let the Prana Vayu be this expansive moment to open up through the torso and the chest. Let's take Arjuna again here. So front thumb is your focus. Hug the fingers in. The big breath in allows you to draw your bow back. And then we start to pulse the front knee and draw the belly button in with the exhale breath through the nose. Last 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the bow. Let the arrow shoot off, and then bring the hands through to the heart and slightly rotate to the right. Once more, take the warrior 2, flip it and reverse left hand to the ceiling. Left elbow lands on your thighs. Right arm reaches overhead. Now hold this for 5 breaths in side angle, pressing through the pinky toe of back foot and reaching the right hand forward and overhead. You've got 3 more breaths. Okay, nice work. I've just shifted so you can see me. As my right hand comes down my right thigh, we'll reverse our triangle. Left hand up to the ceiling. Bring that left leg with you. So you've got all this length up the left side body. Triangle here. So left hand reaches forward. Lower the left hand down onto the left shin and reach the right hand to the ceiling. Firm the feet into the mat. Active in the legs. Tone of the abdominals. Hold for 3. For 2. And for 1. Lower the right hand down and bring your left foot with you. So you've got this, you've arrived on the long edge of your mat in a wide leg fold position, but we're going to toe heel the feet in a little closer. Bring your hands onto your thighs and with an inhale breath, start to lift your chest. So warrior breath 1 here. Firm into the thighs. Sit down into the seat. Tone the abdominals in. Cactus the arms, and those alternate magnets come towards touch. And there's all this friction, right? And so as you pull away, you create the fist and you go and expand the chest. And then with the exhale, it's and there's that opposing energy. And then last 5. Sit a little deeper. Firm the heels into the mat. Last 2. Hands on the fronts of your thighs. Lengthen the legs. Just recognize, absorb. Warrior breath 2 now. So 2-part inhales, 2-part exhales. You've done this a couple of times. Maybe a little closer now. So a bit wider than hip width. Hands on the thighs. We hinge forward and we let the arms dangle here. So remember, it's the thumb, hands to fist to the hips, elbows to the hips. Inhale part 1. Inhale part 2. Exhale part 1. Exhale part 2. Ten more. Last 2. Receptivity pose, settle in, tune in, feel that momentum. Hands at the heart, step back to the top of your mat, take a moment. Let's reconnect with our intention. Feet are about hip width, close down your eyes, tuck your chin towards your chest. All right, well done. Let's take your hands up to sky. Inhale, breath, and then exhale. Sweep the hands down to the earth. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back to high plank. Choice here to go knees, chest, chin to cobra pose or high plank to low plank. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Shifting forward to your high plank, lowering knees and shins, untucking toes and sitting back on our heels. Let's do the other side. So Hands up overhead, interlace the fingers, Kali love gun to the ceiling. Point up through the fingers, lift through the shoulders, belly button in, breath through the nose. And hut, 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 hut. Last two. Hut, hut. Arms up. Sweep the hands back behind you. Alternate grip with the fingers. So different cross of the thumbs. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Lengthen back. Bend the elbows, clasped hands to your right hip now. Squeeze the elbows, widen the collarbones, stepping forward as you shift onto knees and shins with the left foot. Hold there. Re-squeeze the elbows, widen the collarbones, lift the chest. Re-extend the arms behind you, lengthen. Release the hands. Sweep the left hand to your right hip. Press the back and the forearm into one another. Reach the right hand up to the ceiling. Bend to the left now with the right arm overhead. As you sweep the hand down, look for your blocks, bring them with you. So bring the earth to you into our lunge position. I'm going to take my back knee further down the mat. Lift through the chest. Belly button in. Spread the toenails behind you of the back foot. See if you can press them down. Shuffle the left foot to the left. Just get that block out of the way. Some of you just looking back and reaching back will be enough, or bending the back knee and catching the foot behind you. Release the foot without letting it fling back, but everybody comes back to the front of their mat. Again, we're taking ourselves through half Hanuman, so I'm going to take that back knee down and away from me so I can start to lengthen that front leg, curling the toes towards the face. We're on the home stretch, everybody, so just take a moment. And remember how we just sort of cheekily swept that back knee forward. You've got to take your blocks back so you've got this support. You press down and shift that knee forward as we sit down on the buttocks. I actually feel like I've got a crick in the neck, but it's a little sweaty in here and I keep catching the cord. I'm sorry for my demonstrating. So here in our half hero position, you might find yourself with the hands forward and just folding forward. That can feel super luxurious. Or if you felt like rolling down the back body and letting the head hang, you could do that as well. And so Hanuman is referenced here as well because this is a hero's pose, and he was a hero of the Ramayana, the story of rescuing Sita from the island of Sri Lanka. A reminder that when we look deep inside, that's when we find the wisdom and the truth that wants us to be expansive, wants us to be gigantic, but we let these layers of conditioning create smaller versions of us. So as we start to peel ourselves up, if we've rolled down the back, or if we're in our upright position, just take a moment. We'll prepare for our deer position. So it's the left knee that wants to go out to the left onto an external rotation, and then the right knee comes with it, but it's internally rotated. So we're on the inside of the right and the outside of the left. Proud through the chest, wide through the collarbones, lifted through the crown of head, and pressing down through the legs and the ankles and the heels. as you come back through to the top of the mat. It's the right hand that goes for the left ankle and helps draws the heel towards the groin, and then both hands over to the right knee and help step the right foot to the outer left thigh. Remove the left heel from underneath the right hip, so you're kind of squaring and the buttocks are sitting down on the mat, before you take the left hand forward and we're twisting around to the right, lifted through the crown of the head. Upon this twist, I've been greeted by all the deities that I've collected on all my different travels and journeys, and Hanuman here is in a beautiful statue and in the lovely frame, and it's a potent reminder of how beautiful and incredible the traditions of the yoga philosophies can be, with all of this different iconography. As we come back to the front of the mat, we have our shoelace. So remember, first option is to take that left leg straight out from underneath you and draw the right ankle more towards the left hip, and half shoelace would be here. You could still sit on a block, especially if you're tight in the hips. Otherwise, for full shoelace, we'll sit on our block, elevate the hips, bending the left knee and finding the fold forward with the both knees bent. And we'll do the same set of series to head on our way home. Well done for sticking with me today. I've had my challenges with the technology. Wherever you're at, we'll take another couple of moments before we start to lean back a little so that we can shift towards our yogi squat or tabletop. So I'm going to remove the block, place it off to one side, sit back, lean right back so the feet step out wide in front of me and I shift forward. So remember that the hands are on the knee, the floor, and we go ha with a lifted chest and a look up, and then the ta is a fold in to a forward fold. So ha, bend the knees, look up. Ta, tuck in and lengthen the legs. Ha, ta, ha, ta. Almost like a frog position. Ha, ta, 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 ha. Ta, hold the ta, hold the fold. Take a couple of breaths. Let the head hang heavy. Halfway lift, inhale, stepping the left foot all the way back and taking yourself back with it. So we're bending into the back knee and we find our way into Skandasana. And see how the front foot already points forward. We're popping up into our warrior two. So shuffle that front foot forward, bend into front knee, anchor down. Arms along. Arjuna, front thumb is forward. Left hand sweeps forward, draws that bow back. Bend into front knee. Take a big breath in. And then focus on that front thumb. Let the arrow go. Hands come through to the heart space. Warrior two, and hold, reverse warrior. Right hand to the ceiling, reach up, and then lower the right elbow down onto the right thigh. Left arm overhead. Long and strong through the side body. Left hand graces the left hip and left side of the body as you reach it down into a reverse triangle position. So lengthening along the side of the right body, and then triangle is the right hand reaching forward for the right shin, and then the left hand peels up. Look up, look down, look to the side of the room. Yogi's choice. And then slowly start to lower the left hand down, bringing your right toes with you. Shuffle the feet. Now catch the elbows, hang the head heavy, and just start to sway the torso from side to side here. And as you start to notice if there's more movement available, you might start to roll up and overhead and then down the opposite side. So rolling up, overhead and down, and then pause, let the momentum just come back to center. And we'll do it twice on the other sides. Up and around and over and down. Up and around and over and down. Good work. Hands on the mat. Shuffle feet in. Toe heel, toe heel, toe heel in. 3-part prana vayu breath. So hands on your thighs to roll up. So 3-part inhale, 1 part exhale. Up and out in front of you for an inhale. Palms facing ceiling. Sip in. Second sip in, out wide. Third sip in, up sky. Palms facing inwards. And then exhale, sweep the hands down with the palms facing behind you. One big shh. Positivity in through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Negativity, unwanted, all of the stuff that keeps you small. Grow like Hanuman. Be the biggest version of you can. Last 5. 3. Big breaths. Biggest one so far. Hands on the fronts of your thighs. So as we just bring that tone down a little and prepare to finish our practice, there's also a moment of self-compassion and self-love in the 3-part pranavayu breath 2. So with the feet about hip width, the hands facing the ceiling, 3 inhales. And then flip the palms so the hands face outwards, and I like to cross the arms and just tap the shoulders with a self-hug, and then compassionate, slower movements now. Even though they're warriors, think of yourself as a spiritual warrior, someone able to navigate their day with dignity, with a sense of compassion, because love is a renewable resource. The more you provide it to the universe, the more it reflects back at you in a continual loop of reflection, abundance, last couple, and renewal. Bringing your hands onto the fronts of your thighs, widen the collarbones. And then stepping the toes to touch into Kamala Mudra, and we'll set ourselves up for a moment of reflection on our Sankalpa, that little seed of intention that we planted in the earth. We've watered with our practice. We've created the warmth from the energy of the sun. There's the notion here that when you suddenly start to feel into the breath, notice how that has been an essential part of the growth of your sapling as well, the air. And then finally the space for it to expand into all of its abundance. And then bring your hands to your heart space, draw your chin towards your chest, and just take a moment, thanking yourself for showing up today. Thank yourself for cultivating the strength from within and now maintaining the momentum with your practice. Thumbs to your third eye, chin to chest. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Greet this beautiful version of yourself with the Hindi word Namaste. Welcoming in a new version and a new day, and have a lovely day as you head out into the world. Bye for now.